Welcome back, guys. So today I just want to kind of do a eyebrow tutorial. Um, I've never done an eyebrow tutorial filming, so I want to kind of show you guys how I do my eyebrows. For you all that are interested or like my eyebrows, but there is a couple of items that I like to use when I do my eyebrows. It's like 4 different items. First is my Anastasia brush number 12, which is this flat brush here with the spoolie on the other end. And then I like to use my Anastasia pomade. Sometimes I use chocolate, sometimes I use medium brown. I'm out of the chocolate, so I go back and forth. And I like to use the BH Cosmetics Flawless Brow Trio, which has been a good product for me to help fill in my brows. And I know it seems like a whole lot of stuff for my brows, but sometimes I use them all. Most times I don't, but most times I do because they last all day for me. And then I like to use the brow Zings in the number 4. And I like this because it's waterproof. And it lasts all day. My brows do normally. And the last thing I like to put on my brows is the Hard Candy brow ink, which looks like this. And I use it in the color medium dark. And that's a really, really great affordable eye gel setter, and it's dark. So first I start and I clean my brows with at least a makeup wipe or a baby wipe to kind of get any excess oils and stuff that's in my brows, because I like mine to be kind of dried out when I get ready to put any product on it, so it won't be moving around and stuff like that. It kind of stay put, because I believe you have greasy and oily skin like I do. If you put oil-based stuff on your skin like this pomade and stuff that tends to get oily throughout the day, then your eyebrows are gonna probably fade away and be oily. So I like to keep mine kind of dry and make sure nothing's on them when I start filling them in. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my medium brown Anastasia pomade. This is a new one. I just opened this one the other day, and it doesn't take much. And I like to make sure mine is kind of flat. So the little bit I'll take it and put it on the back of my hand and to kind of flatten it, because it can get messy. And I like my lines to be kind of thin and precise. And then I'll take this little mirror here, which comes with the BH Cosmetics Flawless Brow Trio. And I use this to kind of just shake my brows and stuff to give it a close-up. So first I kind of comb them up into shape. And I'm trying to let them grow back out, because I really have thin brows. And they're actually trying to grow back in, which I like it. So I just kind of try to fill with what I have. Then I do light strokes with the Anastasia. And I just kind of feel it like that, and do the other side the same way. They need to be arched. Okay, so you can see I kind of drew them how I like them underneath, and I'll go back again, because since this is new, it's kind of on the liquidy, moist, pomade. It hadn't gotten old yet where it's kind of stiff. And I draw it out a little bit further, simply because this one goes out further than that one. And I'll go in again to kind of make sure it's precise enough for me. And then I'll go in with another dab of what's on my hand. It's a good bit. Then I'll try to kind of shape the top to go with the tail of my brow. And see how light it is? It's really, really light. But I kind of build that tail. And then I do the same for the other side. And they really need to be arched. But again, I'm trying to let them grow out, so. Okay, so they're kind of similar. You can clean them up once you get the concealer and stuff going. So I just kind of just keep on kind of putting the rest of the product that's left on this brush kind of through the rest of my eyebrows. And just kind of finish shaping them that way. Okay, so that brow is almost done. I do the same thing with this one, just kind of fill it in a little bit more with the product. Okay. And see, I have really thin, sparse brows with the way they're shaped. And this pomade just doesn't do the whole thing for me when it's brand new like this. Okay, so just kind of just fill in this inner with what's left really, really lightly. Sorry guys, I know you can't see that. Okay, the same thing for this one. Kind of just fill out what's left and try to make that little thin line to kind of fill in those areas up here in the front. Do the same for the other side. And it gives you like those hair-like strokes, and you don't have that harsh line for your brows. Now what I like to do next, I go in with this BH Cosmetics, and I use the powder, the darker powder, and kind of fill in. And I've been using this for like almost a year, and it lasts a really, really long time. And then I kind of fill in where I just put the Anastasia dip brow pomade to kind of set it in place, because it's still kind of like on the oily side to me. It's not kind of dried out like it should be to my liking. And I just fill in. And again, you don't have to use these products that I use. You can use what you have. I just like to use them because I know what type of eyebrows I have. And this is like a good powder for me. And we all know brows can be something else. They don't. And don't worry, they won't be twins, because mine are never twins. As long as they look similar, I'll be okay. You don't have to worry about them being too precise, because you're going to clean them up anyways when you get done filling them in. I just like to make sure mine just feel like in, because sometimes you can put concealers and all this other stuff on your brows, and then your product starts fading. So I'm always putting a little more than what I should, and I know a lot of people don't like that, but I do. So I like it. And then I'll take a little bit more of this powder with the pomade kind of brow filler, and kind of fill in the my lining of my brows again, so they'll kind of stay put. And you have to be very light-handed with this, because this stuff here is like, will run if you choose to use it. You can see how it deepened up that tail. Okay, so as you can see, I'm almost done with them. I just have to make sure my stuff is filled in. And my brows tend to take me the longest to do when I'm doing anything on my face. My brows take the longest, because I be trying to make sure my brows are like together before I do anything else. Then my next to last step is my brow Zings. Again, it's in number 4. And I always just kind of dab the two together. And I've been using this for like the last 2 months, and I haven't used pretty much any. I just dab it one time here and one time there, and then just fill in the same thing so it can kind of lock it in, because it's supposed to be a waterproof brow pomade and powder. And then this kind of lightens up the deepness I put in when I use the BH Cosmetics, because it's kind of dark, but I like mine's dark though. So yep. And again, you just fill it in. And I like the way it feels, because I know they're set in place when I get through doing all these steps, because I can feel them sitting. I know some people don't like that feeling, but I do to begin with. I mean, I know they're not going anywhere, versus me putting them up there. When I get through putting foundation and stuff on, my brows are gone. And I know it's kind of a lengthy video, but I'm sorry. I just wanted to do a really detailed video. Okay, so now I'm done with the powders part. So what I like to do now is take my spoolie and just comb the product, especially at the front end of my brow, and so it can give a more natural effect. So when I set it, it doesn't have any, you know, I don't have this harshness at the beginning of my brows. And then I just kind of slowly just feather the rest of the product together, and then just kind of fade out this beginning of my brow so it look even natural when I put the brow gel on there. Okay, now the brow gel time, which is the Hard Candy Brow Ink. And again, it's in medium dark. And you have to take your time with this stuff. This is some real pigmented stuff, and it will get all over your lids if you're not careful. And I slowly stroke my eyebrows with it, all the way to the tailbones, just slowly and lightly. And this holds them in place all day, which I like it. Then I do the other brow. And this is only like, what, $8? So now my brows are all done. Now it's time for me to clean them up with a little bit of concealer, so I can kind of shape them how I want to shape them. So lately I've been liking to use the Lorac Pro POREFection concealer, which is this concealer here. It's really a heavy duty concealer to me. I like it. And this is in medium beige. Now when I'm not doing any foundation or anything like that, I'm sorry, when I'm doing any makeup and I just want to do my brows, I just kind of put a lighter shade under my eyebrows and maybe a shade kind of matches my skin tone on the top of my brows so that I can just quickly go. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in, shape them with a concealer and clean them up a little bit. Sometimes people go like this, but I cannot go like this because to me it doesn't look complete. And I put a dab of the POREFection concealer on the back of my hand. And I like to use, I use this Morphe R44 brush. Looks like this. It's a rose gold type brush to carve out and shape my eyebrows. And I go back in with my same mirror. And I just because it's strictly, focused on my eyebrows. And I take a little bit on the back, this concealer from the back of my hand. And then I just start carving out my brows slowly. Then I'll just bring it down. Okay, and then I'll do the other side. I like to make sure they're kind of like even. So I like to go all the way across. I know mine is pretty much even. When I can draw that straight, straight line across. And I know this is a lengthy tutorial, but I just take pride in my brows, and it really takes me a minute to do my brows. I don't like to rush on them. If my brows don't come out right, I don't even finish my look because I'm not walking around with any jacked up brows if I can help it. Because my brows, to me, makes my look. So now I'll carve out the top. trying to just get that harshness from around my brows. Okay, then clean up the other side. Okay, so I'm just scared I'm gonna mess that up just because I'm filming it. And I think that about do it for my brows. Okay, then next I like to take one of these brushes that I have from what is it? Ecotools. It's like this little brush here. I taped it together because it came loose. And this is where I just kind of buff all of the shadow, all the concealer and blend it and make sure it's blended well. This is when I just probably don't want to put on any shadows or anything. If I just want to do a clean cut brow and keep going, then this is what I do. And just kind of make sure it's kind of blended well. And you see I'm still kind of white, so I kind of then, let's see. Okay, those are my pretty much finished brows. So a lot of times if I find it that it's like this, let me turn the lighting down a little bit, maybe it's kind of too dark. Okay, so that's pretty much the finished brow. But what I like to do, if I'm not going to do any eyeshadows, anything like that, what I normally do, if I just want to go with them like this, of course I don't go like this. I kind of just still make sure they're how I like them before I get a baby wipe and wipe all this excess. Because apparently I was not paying attention to the concealer and did not realize it was that much lighter on my skin tone. So what I'll do now, since it's so much lighter than my forehead and stuff like that, then I'll just take a baby wipe and just wipe the excess concealer off. And then I just kind of And then I do the same for the other side. I do this anyway, even when I'm doing a full face of makeup a lot of times, because what I found out was you have a lot of product up under product, which causes a lot of cakiness. So that's if I'm not wearing anything else but my brows. It's just a extra step for me. You don't have to do this. Again, like I said, if you're using concealer that matches your skin, then you have no problem with it. So I'll go back in with this brush here again. Now this is only if I'm not doing a full face, just so I can blend it out. So I'll be looking crazy. Blend out the rest of that concealer. And then I'll just kind of fill that out a little more. Because at this point it's not so much where you just, it's so noticeable. It's just like a natural, hey, I just want my brows to look neat today. Even though it's taking me 30 minutes to do them. But normally, I'm doing a full face when I do it. And this extra additional time I'm taking to make sure they're super clean and stuff, I would have been doing some eyeshadows or what have you. So that would have took up that additional time. But we won't do that today. And I'm sorry it's taking so long. It probably won't take you all that long to do. It's just, I'm a neat freak when it comes to my brows. That's just how I am now. Okay, so I think that pretty much did it for that. So now in cases like this, what I will do is highlight up under my brow bone when I do instances like this. And I like to use, I have this little flat brush. I don't know where I got it from, but it's a little brush like this, little flat end type brush. And what I like to do, I'm going to take my Ofra highlighter in Rodeo Drive. You see Rodeo Drive. And I'm going to, excuse me, highlight under my brow bone. I just like for my brow bone to be highlighted because it gives that nice glow. See, look at that one and look at this one. It gives it a nice glow to the highlight to your brow bone. And it makes your, to me, it makes my eyebrows look a lot more sharper and cleaner. Make sure you get the same effect on this side. Now when I'm doing a full face of makeup, I definitely spray a little Fix Plus on my brush to give it an even more highlighted effect. Then I like to take the other end and just fluff it, because you don't want to leave a harshness for your highlight. Okay, so I know that was an extremely long video for it to be an eyebrow tutorial. And this is the finished look of my eyebrows. You can keep going if you want, but I typically stop when I get here to this point. Like I said, I always wipe off the excess, or I use a concealer that's close enough to my skin color so it can blend in and fit where it needs to be and match your skin tone rather. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was long, but I wanted to be step by step. I didn't want to rush, so I didn't want to speed it up. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like, and I hope you subscribe, and I hope you continue to come back and watch. Until then, peace and blessings.